I come from a family of 7. There's 4 boys and 3 girls, and we sort of separated when we were younger because some went off to England. Like my mother took the girls with her, and then the boys stayed with uncles and aunts and stuff. And then eventually, as they got older, everyone left the island. Well, I'm from Grenada. I don't know if you know where that is, but that's in the West Indies part of the Caribbean islands.
Mm-hmm.
And I left there when I was very young, actually. My family left and immigrated to England. That's where I spent some years in England. Well, the reason I left Grenada, I had no choice. I was very young when I left Grenada. When my father died when I was very young, so my mother had 7 of us that she had to take care of. And so what happened is, like most immigrants, you sort of leave because you wanted better opportunity and for your kids and even for yourself, and so back then when I left and my family left, that's when a lot of immigration was very, very heavy throughout the entire Caribbean region. Most people, I would say not most, I think everyone who left for the same reason, for a better education and better life for their family and themselves. The reason our entire family left England, actually, is because the truth is I did not like England. I thought it was too cold. I hated the weather. I didn't find the English people that friendly. And I was really very young, I didn't like it. My mother hated the cold. After a while, she just decided to go back home. And so that's why we sort of separated and ended up in Canada. When my mother decided to go back home, my older sister, immigrated to Canada, then I followed her to Canada. My other sister went back to Grenada, where she still resides. She's been there for decades now. And as I got to Canada with my older sister, a couple years later, we all kind of ended up in Canada, in Montreal. So we all sort of helped each other and sort of sponsored each other to come up to Canada. I think for me, growing up was a little bit confusing. Because I was still very young, and I don't think the support system was there. When you grow up in a family, you have that support that's there with you, that would guide you. But because my mother went back and I was still relatively young, even though I had older sisters, I think we all went through changes because of all the division that was taking place, and I didn't feel like I had a lot of support there. I felt like I had to sort of like figure it out on my own, which I did. And I stayed in Canada. I finished my schooling in Canada, and in 1980 I moved here to Boston. So I moved here actually after I finished my education and finished my training in skin care, and then got a job here, and then I've been here ever since. But I lived in the South End for a little bit. Then after that, I moved to Brighton, lived in Brighton for a while, and then I ended up moving to Brookline. Once I started my business, I moved closer to my work, and I've been here ever since. After working for this establishment for 5 years, I decided to branch out of my own. I was the first African-American-owned day spa in the Brookline area, was the first for over 25 years. Yeah, I'm no longer in the business because it was a long time being in the business, and I just felt I needed to take some time off, which I did, and never returned back to the business. So, but yeah, I was very successful for a couple of decades. And I still have family members who have remained in Canada, and I enjoyed Montreal. I really did at the time, but I didn't see a lot of opportunities there for me in terms of what I wanted to do. And Canada is a wonderful country, don't get me wrong. I just had this vision of myself being in the States, living in the States, and becoming very successful in what I wanted to do. And I followed my vision, and I followed my goal, and it turned out well.
Can you see any difference in immigration now versus when you immigrated?
Oh God, yeah. I think it's much, much, much more difficult. And can I say something real quick about immigration? When I moved here from Canada, I really thought it would be so easy to get my green card, which is the first stage before you get citizenship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I moved here because I had my citizenship for Canada. The company that hired me also went out of their way to help me get my green card, and it went on for years. It was just so difficult to get the green card. And I can, honestly say, and I'm proud to say, the reason I ended up getting my green card was through a program during the Reagan administration. They came up with this program, and I can't think of the name of it now, but it really was to help immigrants who've been living in this country for a long, long time, contribute to the society, work here, pay taxes here, and you still didn't have, your green card, or you didn't have any papers or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I applied for that, and that's how I ended up getting my green card. But they didn't just hand it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You had to go through all kind of different changes. You had to show all kinds of records, medical records, school records, work records, taxes. I mean, everything you had to present to them before they let you to stay in this country legally. It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very long process, and it was also very stressful because during that time, even though I wasn't straight in this country, I went out and set up my own business, and I thought, well, what are they going to do? Ship me out? I'm not depending on the government. I'm independent. I'm making my own money.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that's so it's not so easy.